drilling. And let me be clear that these statistics are just the ones that are reported. With the shortage of coverage in the entire country, we are not able to collect the data and the number of cases that happens all over the country. It is just, these numbers are reported from just 6 provinces, not more than that. So you can imagine if in 6 provinces these are happening, and of course it is the same in all over the country. The Taliban's local courts have even gone so far as to forcibly evict thousands of Tajiks and Uzbek ethnic groups, and 2,800 Hazaras from homes, forcefully displacing them and seizing their properties in the process. Worth mentioning that, as I mentioned before, the number of cases reported is not accurate, as the lack of coverage has resulted in countless atrocities going unreported. Finally, the intolerable reality of a terrorist group seizing power has resulted in a complete breakdown of law and order in Afghanistan. The state of absolute chaos has led to an anarchy, an utter of lawlessness, leaving women completely vulnerable and with nowhere to turn for justice. The situation is beyond dire. I'm sorry. It's so hard to talk about today's realities of Afghanistan. I'm really sorry. I wish I could gather myself to be able to talk about what's happening in my country. But bear with me, please. The situation is beyond dire, as evidenced by the alarming number of suicide cases, 98 with 48 women among the gender-based violence victims. In addition to 34 decrees erasing women's rights, the Taliban issued a new decree nullifying divorce verdicts, forcing women to return to their in-laws and face accusation of adultery if remarried. The question is that what the role of international community is to address the situation in Afghanistan. First of all, the Islamic Emirate must be recognized as a state sponsor of terrorism, sanction Taliban, and extend travel ban by adding all Taliban leaders in the travel ban list. Do not let them to travel all around the world having visas, while my people has taken in hostages and are in prison every day, and they are not allowed to leave the country. Second of all, we call on for a UN investigation into human rights violation and alleged war crimes by the Taliban. ICC must play a more proactive role in investigating and prosecuting violations of human rights in Afghanistan. Most importantly, the UN and the member states must immediately intervene to help Afghanistan establish a democratic, pluralistic, and decentralized government. that respect human rights, democracy, and the ethnic diversity of Afghanistan. Last but not the least, we must understand that this is not just women's or a country's struggle. This is a shared responsibility. We are fighting with 21 terrorist groups active right now in Afghanistan alone, and women are fighting at the forefront on the streets, facing guns and bullets with their empty hands, facing torture, rape, and killings in the Taliban's prison. The international community, particularly the UN, member states, and G7 leaders must acknowledge that gender apartheid in Afghanistan can no longer be ignored any longer. We must come together as a global community to support the people of Afghanistan and ensure that they have the right to live a life free from fear and oppression. I thank you.